In today's society, we tend to be very stereotypical, critical, and the phrase, "it is common sense," is used all too frequently. It is human nature to think wisely and act foolishly. This quote was said by Anton France, and I agree with this person because I see this occur in everyday life, and it occurs a lot in the workplace, in our personal lives, and also at school. I work for my aunt and uncle's landscaping company as their secretary, and I was there yesterday. I come in, and my aunt's like, "We have to close all the blinds and close the door." She said, "Lock it and don't," she said, "don't turn on the light." I said, "Okay, well, who are you hiding from? Like, what did I do?" She said, "Oh, I owe this guy money, and I don't have it today, and I'm kind of embarrassed, and I don't want to let him know that I don't have it for him." So I said, "Okay, so why don't you just call him and let him know, hey, like, I don't have your money?" And she said, "No," she said, "I'm too embarrassed to do that. I don't want to let him know." So I said, "Okay." So I'm sitting there, you know, just doing what I usually do, just answer phone calls and whatnot. And all of a sudden, I hear someone tug at the door. And I said, "Okay, like, I think that's him. I think Jim's here to see you." And she said, "Oh my gosh." And she runs, like a 40-year-old woman, she runs and hides under the desk. And she's like peeking out, and I could not stop laughing. And I said, "What are you doing?" And she said, "I'm not here." She's like whispering to me. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I don't have his money." Like, she said, "Just tell him I'm not here." So I'm laughing hysterically, and I'm just like, I can't even open the door right now. How am I really going to open the door and say, "Oh, she's not here"? And then you see like her arm and leg coming out of under the desk. So I just walked up and I said, "Hi Jim, like, how are you doing?" And he says, "Oh, is your godmother here?" And I said, "No, she's not." And he said, "Oh, well, you know, I'm here to pick up some money." I said, "Okay, well, I'll let her know that you came in." And he just kept talking, and I said, "Wow, like, that's really sad that she can't just face him and say, 'Hey, you know what, I don't have your money today, but come back tomorrow,' or something." So in that situation, I saw that she could have been the bigger person, and later on she realized that she was wrong in hiding. And she ended up going next door and talking to him and saying, "Hey, you know, I'm going to give you this check, don't cash it until tomorrow." So later on she ended up figuring out the solution to her own problem. So I think that we think wisely, but we don't act as wise as we should. Also, at school, I've procrastinated many times, as I'm sure all of you have. And I've had a lot of friends who are, you know, I'm trying to hang out during the weekend, and they're like, "Sorry, I've had this paper due, and I haven't done it, and now I'm turning it in late, and I'm getting half credit." And I said, like, "Why didn't you do it in the first place?" And I feel like I should take my own advice at times like those, because I've procrastinated a lot as well. And I don't think it's a good thing necessarily, but I feel like maybe I should kind of listen to myself more than I should. I keep giving everybody else really good advice, but I never take it myself. Also, sometimes I'm sure you guys have all had family problems, and I'm sure you know other people who have family problems as well. And talking to a couple of my friends, they have problems with their parents and the whole curfew thing and going out and whatnot and coming back home. And I tell them what to do, and I say, "You should probably try being a little bit nicer. Don't be so rude when they try to tell you to do things." And I find myself in situations exactly the same as them, and I don't do what I tell them to do, and I actually do the whole opposite of what I should be doing. So I think I should take my own advice at times like those as well. So I agree with this quote, and I definitely think that we should counteract and actually think wise and act wise as well. So Anton France was right, and I hope that all of you take my advice, as well as I will, and act wisely as you think wisely too. Where's the money? Oh, that sucks.
I didn't think we had to read it. I didn't even know you had curly hair.
You should have shown me that before my speech. I would have done better. Oh my god.
It didn't suck at all. You did a very nice job on a whole bunch of things. I thought the attention device and the thesis statement was fine. The preview was pretty solid. Your supporting material, excellent. You got that nice story to tell, that you're having fun talking about it. I think it brings everybody in. There's a lot of detail in it. A perfect example about how, you know, there's a difference between having an incident that people talk about and a story that goes along with it. And yours is a story that people are going to remember, and you can see see how it applies, and it's really something that feels real when you're talking to us about it. On the presentation issues, your voice is very effective. It projects well. There's good variety. The pacing is excellent. So all of the paralinguistic things are good. Now, on the visual factors, there are a couple of things you want to watch out for. First of all, you're almost as far away from us as you can get. You're back up against the wall, and you never seem like you're quite comfortable when you're standing up there. And another way you can tell that you seem that way, your arms hang at your side. You gesture occasionally with your fingers, but I don't think your hands ever moved up. It's like they're at the end, and you just, you can't see it right now, but I'm flexing my fingers. So it just seemed like you were not involved in the speech, not really engaged. If I'm just listening, it's all pretty solid. When I'm watching, if I'm just watching from the head up, it looks pretty solid. But everything, from the neck down, it just seems like that's where your anxiety is, that's where your discomfort is, that's where you're not engaged. So, all of the good things, they need to be remembered, and the other things, they're little things to fix. Okay, thank you.